Today it's 15 fast but surprisingly easy licks. Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo Karjalainen. It's good to have you along. You can call me this guy if my name is tricky to pronounce. Today we're taking a look at some fast but relatively easy guitar playing. Why? Playing fast can sometimes be appropriate to the song. Now, besides it sometimes being musically relevant to play fast, it can also be great fun. And when you learn how to play fast, the slower stuff, you get better control over that stuff as well. And some people think that playing fast can be really difficult, and that might be stopping them from actually trying. So here are 15 fast but easy licks. Now, easy, I say easy, and I know we're all individuals. For some of you these might be a bit tricky, but they're still relatively easy compared to some of the stuff that you will find out guitar players doing out there. Some of these might even be easier than your regular bends and vibrato, so be sure to check them all out. Now, I will have tab on screen for these, and also a couple of pointers before I get going. Some people would say play slow and clean, and I totally agree with that, but I think that you should alternate between playing slow and clean to really pushing your boundaries, and then concentrating on clean again. So fast, clean, because you want to push that boundary, but you don't want it to be completely sloppy and messy. Using a metronome, that's point number 2, that might be a good idea. Why? Because it lets you measure your progress, and when you notice that you've made progress, that will increase your motivation. Also, it gives you rhythm, so it's just not some random stuff. Number 3, clean sound. Well, some people think you should use a clean sound for this stuff. I don't really care. Whatever suits you. If you use a ton of distortion, that might mask mistakes that you're making. So maybe use a clean, maybe not. I don't know. I don't really care, as long as you have fun with these. Now, these are in all sorts of keys. I'm using a budget Strat by Earth Guitars just to show you that it's not the gear. Okay, I have an expensive amp, but it could just as well be anything. Here is the first lick. The way I've thought about this is in A minor, like so. So slowly. So you pick the first note and then you pull off. And that's relatively easy. Second one, you can think about this being in E minor or A minor, maybe something else as well, but it's this. A bit more distortion. Now this comes in a couple of variations. This is how I played it, slowly. But the thing is that I pick the first 2 notes and then I hammer on and pull off. You could play except I can't, but some people do. For me it's easier to just pick, hammer on, and pull off to the last. Lick number 3. This is something you would find in a song. Let's see if you recognize it. I'm not sure which key the song is in actually, or where they play it on which string, but it's this thing. So if I was to move that around, you might know the song a bit better. But the idea is simple. You pick a note, number 4, pull off to the open string, and then you pick 7, pull off to the open string. Rinse and repeat. could move that about in different keys and get actual real like proper music type stuff. Next one involves no picking at all, but it does involve some tapping. Now, tapping is really super easy compared to picking every note. I forgot to say that everything fast where you have to pick every note, at least for me, is a lot more difficult than just picking some notes and hammering on or pulling off others. So this kind of thing, for instance, is fairly simple, whereas is a lot more difficult. But it also sounds a bit different. This is a kind of eruption type thing, so this is it fast. And if you're doubting that this is easy, if you're thinking it's really difficult, I had a student who'd never really played guitar. She was a piano player, but who got interested in doing that kind of thing. It was the eruption thing. And she managed to learn that despite not really playing guitar. She knew some chords and that was basically it. Maybe a couple of riffs. It didn't sound brilliant, but it sounded like eruption. So it's a lot easier than you might think. You might have noticed that I switched fingers on the fret number 8. So I played with the pinky and then I switched to the ring finger. That's entirely up to you. I tap with my middle finger. You could use your index finger so you hide your pick somewhere here. Okay, figure 5. Now this is basically figure number 1. But you can, a lot of these you can move around. So it instantly becomes a bit more than just. You could do that in different keys, of course. Or if you're playing, let's say, E Phrygian or E pentatonic. Okay. Figure number 6, I had to check. This is tapping using open strings. Again, you can use whatever finger feels right. Just experimenting with this stuff can be great fun, so you can move it around. Relatively easy. It's not, again, it's not like. Figure number 7. Come to think of it, you could play it like this. But the way I played it was. Before we go on, I thought I'd mention my Patreon where you get access to my music lessons and a bunch of exclusives. There's a link in the description to that. You can even take that stuff for free. And I also want to thank everyone who already supports me. Thank you, it really means a lot. Okay, figure number 8. This is one I learned really early on. It's something like this. Again. The idea again is you do not pick every note. It's something like this. Not entirely clean. Let's try that again. Next one. Well, okay, this is where you pick every note, but this is where you don't have to do a lot with this hand. It's tremolo picking, which again, it's fast playing. Something like this. That might be a bit more tricky. How did I learn to do that? Well, I think I actually just learned by just doing this as fast as I could and hoping for the best. Figure number 10. So? You could start with the 8, which would mean a lot of these exercises are really good for building up hand strength as well, or licks I should say, not exercises. Next one. So, slowly. Lick number 12. This one is a bit weird because it's quintuplets. So slow again. Figure number 13. So slowly. Second to last one. This might be the most challenging of the whole bunch. So, slowly. Now this is starting to get into the proper shredder area. Okay, last one. Well, this might be the most difficult one. I don't know. Slowly. The tricky bit about this is the 15 where you hammer on from, it's called a hammer on from nowhere. And it's quintuplets again. So that was 15 fast and fairly easy-ish licks, at least comparatively. If you want a suggestion on how to practice these, there's a video here on 15-minute practice routine. So I suggest you do these 15 minutes every day. You can check that video out here. Other than that, I hope you check out my Patreon. There's a link in the description, like I said. And I hope you enjoyed this and have fun with these, and have a nice day. Take care. See you. Bye.